Good morning, students. Today I wanted to read a nonfiction book called Martin Luther King Jr. This book was written by David Bauer. There is no illustrator for this book. All of the pictures that we see are photographs. They were taken with a camera. Many of the photographs will not have any color in them. They'll just be black and white. That's because some of these photographs were taken a very long time ago. So this is a nonfiction book. Nonfiction books teach us information. The topic is what the book is all about. The topic for this book is Martin Luther King Jr. The information that we learn about what he did will be our key details. Let's read Martin Luther King Jr. by David Bauer. "I have a dream," said Martin Luther King Jr. He dreamt that people of all races could live together. Once, laws separated people of different races. So the photographs help us understand the text or the sentences that are written on the page. And in this photograph, you can see that all of the people that have white skin are sitting at the front of the bus. And all of the people that have black skin are sitting way back here in the back of the bus. So once upon a time, laws separated people of different races. So it's not that that's where they wanted to sit, that's where they had to sit. Martin Luther King Jr. helped change these laws. He believed in solving problems without fighting. So looking at this photograph, how could it help me understand the sentence? Well, nobody here is fighting. They're very peacefully walking down a sidewalk where there sure are a lot of people walking down that sidewalk. They joined together to march, to let people know how they felt, to let people know that it was not okay, and they did it without fighting. That's called peaceful protest. Martin Luther King Jr. worked to change laws peacefully. He gave speeches. So here he is in Washington, D.C., the capital of our country. I can see that, and I can see lots and lots of people gathered around to hear what he had to say for his speech. He led marches. So once again, there's a lot of people gathered together to walk together. They all believe in the same thing, and they are marching. They are not fighting. He talked to people in the government because that's how you can make changes happen. Martin Luther King Jr. was determined. What does that mean, determined? He didn't give up. So, some of the key details that we've learned about Martin Luther King Jr. so far. We learned that he was working hard, without giving up, to change laws that separated people. He wanted everybody to be treated the same, and he didn't want people to fight. And the laws did change. Martin Luther King Jr. earned the Nobel Peace Prize. In 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. was shot and he died. So this is a photograph of his funeral procession. Today, we still celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. How does this photograph help me understand the text? the sentence. The sentence is, today we still celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. And the photograph shows us people of different races and ethnicities, all gathered around together, enjoying each other's company, the way that it ought to be. We honor Martin Luther King Jr. on his birthday every January. Thank you for reading about Martin Luther King Jr. with me today. Can you tell me the topic of this book and a couple of key details that you learned about the topic?